Stephanie, man, took Cody's lunch money, his book bag, and then slapped him in the face. Took his
And
dignity.
he said thank you. And he
Yes.
said thank you.
Now
Like,
who's the
which is
cuck?
the most cuckold thing I've...
That's hey,
In a world, two retired vets decided phone conversations about WWE storylines would make for a good podcast. Only one podcast dares to predict the future, where every move, every feud, every moment is overanalyzed. Grab your number 2 pencils. Get ready to step into the squared circle. This is your front row seat to the storylines as you wish they were written. Welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. Here are your hosts, 4-time Drum Corps Associates World Champion Sean Green, and the keeper of the coveted 10mm socket of excellence, and 2-time small hometown local youth hockey organization champion, Matt Jackson.
Welcome to this week's edition of If We Had the Pencil podcast. I am your host, Sean Green, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, the original Florida man himself, as I stumble over my lines. New headset, printed out notes, found the power of computers, Matt freaking Jackson. Matt, how the hell are you?
good, bro. How are you doing, man? Good to see you.
I am doing great. I have been busy as all can be. It is that time of year. I busted out the camper for the first time to give it a shakedown. You know, so like it's coming. And then my Watkins Glen camping passes came today. Like right around the corner, big guy. Like it's coming. But and then on top of that, I also got to do a guest spot on Nick's show. And he does Mount Rushmore Mondays. And this week was factions. And you know, I had to qualify it because otherwise people would have thought I would like fell off my rocker and went nuts. So WWE, WWF factions, because I'm going to ask you this, so I'm curious to hear what yours are, and we won't do the same criteria where we can't pick the same. But my criteria, and you don't have to use my criteria, but my criteria was I had to see them and experience them and have some feelings towards their work. And then the other thing was they either had to bring up and enhance young talent or they had to become part of pop culture. And the reason I say that is we'll use Four Horsemen as an example, right? We all know Four Horsemen is probably the greatest faction that ever existed. However, I never lived it. I never saw it. I never done it. So like anything I talk about with them is abstract. So like it was kind of like, okay, you know, I need to be able to talk about how they made me feel. So my 4, in no specific order, was we did Evolution, which I think pretty much explains itself, right? Like you had 3 different generational tiers of ungodliness, and they're all Hall of Famers. Wait, is Batista in now or about to be in? I don't know. Batista will go on eventually. And then my next one, which was my first curveball there, folks, was Nation of Domination. And my argument for Nation of Domination was The Rock was shit until the Nation. Like, he wasn't The Rock. He was Rocky Maivia, the do gooder, try harder guy. And he sucked. And like, once he got with the Nation, he became The Rock, right?
Yeah, he got to show his personality.
Yeah, and
He
on
was
steroids.
Yeah, because when he was Rocky Maivia, he was pretty much this generic. We'll give him an Islander theme, Hawaiianish vibe, goody like, and the fans just like pooped all over it because wrestling was
Die
changing.
Rocky die, man. Like it was.
Oh God,
it was
brutal. It was brutal.
So after that,
So yeah,
because
I can agree with the Nation of Domination.
I mean, even the later iterations, like when Mark Henry joined and stuff like that, and like, I also had a hard time too because like, the Godfather was part of the Nation of Domination, but he wasn't the Godfather then, and I'm like, he's always the Godfather to me, mostly because like some of those TV specials where you hear like them tell their Rhodes stories. Like he's got some of the greatest Rhodes stories that I have ever heard. Like I love the Godfather so much.
Get him with Undertaker and
yes,
the dude that played Midian. If you get whatever that group that ran together, the BSK. Those guys, their stories are hilarious.
And then, because there was a Nation of Domination, I had to do DX. And the reason I had to do DX was a couple of reasons, but my all-time favoriteest segment is DX doing the Nation of Domination. Like X-Pac with the the chest protector being D'Lo Brown and doing all this crap. Oh my God. And
Mizark.
Triple H dropping hey, I just came out of the bathroom and whoo, you should smell what the crock is cooking. It was just so hilarious and so good and so over the top. And then on top of that too, like you can't deny it, like I think in the chat voting, like they didn't, everybody said no. And I'm like, bro, like,
didn't they have Owen? Was it Owen Hart in the Nation of Domination for a short time too?
Later on, yep. Later on, he was. I actually looked it up because that was Rick Rude was part of DX at first.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, because
there's little nuggets there, but you never think of it that way.
Owen had just left the New Hart Foundation. That was the one where they were huge faces in Canada and booed in the U.S., and that's when Stone Cold and his gang were huge faces. And that's when they had that pay-per-view in Canada where they just, that's when, it was Stone Cold. Pillman was with the New Foundation. You want to talk about a faction that was awesome. That faction, the New Hart Foundation, fantastic faction.
It's okay. You're going to get your chance. chance. I just wanted to run through mine quick.
That's a spoiler.
Well, DX, it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. No, the DX one also, they became part of pop culture. Like, if you weren't wearing an Austin 316 shirt, you were doing crotch chops, which are still done today in multiple sports and wrestling. And you were rocking the D-Generation X 69 jersey all over the place, getting in trouble as well. So, they did transcend it into pop culture. And then finally, their shoot on WCW when they were in the same town, you can't deny that crap.
The invasion angle, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yes,
too.
Where they're knocking on the arena. Oh my God,
the Jeep with the howitzer on the Jeep, and
still around. They found the guy again. I was watching. What was that show? They find stuff I don't know. It where they would go out and find old memorabilia, and they found the guy that has it just to see it. It was really effing cool. My last one was Judgment Day, and I knew I was going to get a ton of cross eyes for that. And I was like, but you got to understand, look at first off, Judgment Day has longevity. I mean, we heard it last night, 4 years the Judgment Day has been around. And they started off with the original members, and it was all wrestlers kind of stuck in the mud. And Judgment Day, especially after they turned on Edge, took off like a cannon. Now look at it. Think about it. Finn's bigger now, right? Rhea is Rhea. She's amazing. Damian Priest never achieves the level that he is right now without Judgment Day. And then you go into the more current iteration where you're looking at it JD McDonough is probably not who he is without Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez definitely is not who she is right now without Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez probably could have done it on her own. Liv Morgan probably didn't need help. I got it, but it doesn't hurt. And then Dominic Mysterio is Rey Mysterio's son if he doesn't join Judgment Day. It wasn't until he joined Judgment Day that he actually took off like a rocket ship. And that's huge. That is effing huge. And I think you have to acknowledge that. They're they're going to go down as one of the best factions ever. And not because they're all these brilliant technicians and everything else, but I have yet to see a faction that really takes the young talent. And the best part about it is, I know this is going to sound tongue in cheek, because I know Priest is up there and whatnot, but like, and Finn's getting up there too, but like, you didn't have that salt of the earth vet, right? Like, it wasn't like that crusty old vet that's just going to steer the young guys the right way. They've kind of done it as like a young dudes group. So Matt, now that I've rambled on and on about my picks, who are your 4 WWE picks?
So, so you already got one with the New Heart Foundation. I just thought that was a great faction, underrated. Evolution, definitely. And I think Batista is in the Hall of Fame. Didn't he go in a couple of years ago? I thought.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not that.
It's always been a thing. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Is he in now? I don't know.
See, the second one. See, and there weren't factions in WWF back in the 80s because it was like there were stables. So, like, Bobby Heenan had a stable, Jimmy Hart had
and
a
that
stable.
came up.
And so
that came.
There's a difference
Reese brought the
between
Heenan.
Yeah, I mean,
Reese brought up the Heenan
family,
group up.
but that wasn't a core group. That was just Heenan hiring guys. So a faction is like a group, and I mean, Heenan always wanted the titles, but a faction it's more of a brotherhood or a family unit, even if they're not related. It's funny that we've been talking about this about 7 minutes. Not once was the bloodline mentioned, and that's not even going to be one of my.
So I crapped on the bloodline, and I took them off their list and didn't even give them an honorable mention. And the reason is who did the bloodline elevate? Nobody other than Roman. You can make an argument that Jay kind of benefited off the bloodline, but not. I don't think so. Like, yes, he became a singles guy, but I think it was him leaving the bloodline and going to Raw was more of his thing, but it didn't really, being in the bloodline didn't benefit him. And like,
No.
The person that should have taken off was Solo, and like, he didn't really catch his groove until the bloodline disintegrated. Maybe Sami Zayn kind of got some run out of it, but Sami Zayn was already Sami Zayn. So I don't think the bloodline really did anything for anybody other than Roman.
So number 3 across is, see, I buy myself time. I'm doing this ploy to get you to talk, but definitely DX is number 3. Now the fourth one, and the easy answer is the Shield, but I don't want to go with the Shield because the Shield was all right. And no, it's not the Spirit Squad. That's not my fourth choice. That'd be horrible. So that's a tough one.
Secret Hervis.
Honorable mention.
Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis.
So the vision is too new and hasn't been stabilized long enough to because
they're too hurt.
As they just got the band together, like half of them went on the IR. So
now, did you hear what Seth said about that? He said he thinks he put bad juju on the vision with the injury angle.
Maybe Danhausen assisted Seth.
No, not a curse. I think he said that by doing the fake injury angle, he put a bad juju on the vision.
You're saying not even in character, just Seth talking thinks that.
Yeah, Seth just talking, said that like, he may.
Like they're paying
that
for
they
Seth,
may have put. Yep.
Paying for the sins of Seth for faking the injury.
Yep.
It's intriguing.
I thought it was.
So Seth has survivor's guilt right now.
He does. But we'll talk about Seth. Seth had a role this week.
He sure did. A lot of good
Come on,
stuff.
number 4, big guy.
Number 4. Oh, God.
Dive into the, back in the day.
I'm trying to find something like from the early 90s.
Tell me about Captain Lou Albano and his people.
That's a stable.
That's fine. Go with stable.
I think a faction you have to have like 3 or more.
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess it's got to be the Shield. I couldn't think. The Hart Foundation was only 2 people and Jimmy Hart. So that's not really a faction.
Yeah, I know. Well, you start like quibbling over little stuff too, like when you got 2 people and a manager and shit like that.
Now, if you would open up to like NWA and other territories, then we could.
Yeah, I know that's the cheat code though, because now you got to start talking NWO. You got to talk.
Yep.
You got to talk 4 Horsemen. It's fine. That's why it was a challenging thought exercise. But let's get into it, man. We were in Pittsburgh this week.
Nobody puts Matt in a corner. He put me in a corner. Nobody puts me in a corner.
They put you outside like a dog.
Yeah, in the rain. In the rain. With leaves floating in my bowl.
Well, let's get into it, man. Like, we were in Pittsburgh. We kick off the show. We get a nice little recap of Cardona and Jelly Roll, and Jelly being the good angel, and Cardona catching the whiff and the poo of everything Randy, thinks is wrong with the world. And then Randy comes out, cuts a great promo, and then Cardona comes out and basically cracks him in the head with the microphone and the cast, and everything goes downhill from there. So, thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a good opener. I just feel bad that they brought Matt Cardona back just so he could be Randy Orton's whipping boy, because that's what it's been the last couple of weeks.
I think the biggest problem is that they are trying every which way but loose to make people boo Randy Orton. And the more shit he does, the more the people cheer. And like,
this is like John Cena a year later, but Randy Orton,
I know, but it's crazy because like, they're like, here's Cody Rhodes, you're champion. And like,
except
everybody's just like, hit him again.
Except the kids are crying. They're like, yeah, no, we're not falling for this.
No, because no. And it's just funny to me. Like, any other, you do it with John Cena, you're like, okay, we kind of whiffed on that. He's loved and beloved. Cody Rhodes, they're just like, F him, hit him again. We like Randy.
I think that
we want Randy to get, number 15. Like, it's so good.
By the way, for our listeners, I think the catalyst for us finally starting this podcast almost a year ago was the John Cena heel turn. Because we talked about how could we miss it and all that, and I think that was finally the drive.
It was one of the last like in-depth conversations. I mean, if we're being real, like
if you listen to Pink Floyd's The Wall, that was the last brick I think to come down was when Cena turned heel and we tore down the wall.
I think too. Because I was in denial during that whole thing. Like I was like, nah, he ain't gonna do that. No, but I think the true seeds were when Roman was double belted and you and I are having conversations like, this sucks. How do you get at least one of those belts off his ass? Because this is ridiculous. And like, we all know what happened after that, but after that, we find out that our man, Trick Williams, is going to WrestleMania. And Nick Aldis dropped the seats taken on Sammy's like, who's my WrestleMania match? Seats taken.
But that's when they should have had R-Truth come out and be like, hey, but if you go on the ESPN app, you can watch all the PLE.
Don't worry. Got you, Sammy. Just watch it on the app. It's actually going to be on ESPN for the first hour. Oh my God, that would be great. And like the best part is like Trick's so happy. He's like, I gotta tell Lash. I gotta tell everybody. You know what I mean? I was like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of genuine. A little bit of genuineness there. And like, actually a weird thing that I found about Trick. So the first time Trick debuted on SmackDown and he came out when he started screwing with Sami Zayn, he had the white coat on, right? So I was reading a thing today. He did an interview. And like the next week, he didn't have the coat. And like Triple H was like, yo, where's the coat? He was like, huh? And Bruce Pritchett was like, yo, where's the coat? They wanted him to be in the coat. Now he wears all white. And
yep.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't put two and two together. I just figured it was his character. Somebody caught it and they were just like, yep. He told the story about it. It was great. So Sammy gets PO'd because enough's Trick Williams hurt my feelings. I'm going to hit him in the head because I don't have a WrestleMania spot. So after that, we have an exciting moment, the moment of the week that Matt always waits for. We get the Bella twins up against Alexa Bliss and Flair, and we know Matt is all about the Bellas, and I want to talk about them here in a minute. It all goes to shit, right? Like, that Nia gets involved, Lash gets involved, there was some, I think I said in our text chat, I was like, there's some bold, or no, that was last night. Never mind. I digress. But yeah, what are your thoughts? And I'm going to give you some thoughts on the Bellas.
Nikki's terrible, man. I'll give Brie credit. Like, at least Brie looks like she's trying and at least there for when she's supposed to be in position. Nikki's just like, she's like that one kid in the elementary school class that goes out for recess and just kind of wanders off, and you have to like keep, come on over here, come on, little Nikki, come back, like stay with the group.
So
Because
one thing
she threw Charlotte's timing off 2 or 3 times, like the cartwheel, clothesline, all that. It's terrible.
both of them though. It is both of them though. I'm going to be real. One might be worse than the other, but like, here's my problem. You tell me
Bree's not good, but she's better. At least she knows how to sell and like get in position. Good Lord.
So let me throw something out to you. Does it feel like to you when you watch them wrestle, and this is what I picked up on Friday, does it feel like to you that when they wrestle that their wrestling style is outdated?
Mhm.
Meaning they haven't adapted to like the current way of women's wrestling, and that they're doing the slow, simple stuff, but they are so overly cautious that I feel like it almost feels like wrestling has passed them by. Like they still can wrestle, but they're wrestling like, back when like the women's evolution was just starting, right? Like, because they definitely ain't no Lita and they definitely ain't no Trish Stratus. So
no, it does look dated. I mean, you got to update yourself.
it would be the equivalent of Penta wrestling Dusty Rhodes, right? Like that's probably a little extreme, but it is kind of true.
I was actually going back and like, would anybody watch like? I would watch it on YouTube, but like, would I pay on a pay-per-view to see like a Harley Race and Terry Funk go 45 minutes?
No, it's just
one would. Yeah,
it's different now, and
because the
it's not
style
that
doesn't
you need.
for nostalgia. It's great to go watch it on YouTube, but doesn't fit the current product. The Bella Twins do not fit the current product, nor have they seemed to make an attempt to try to fit in with the current product, either by their wrestling skills, by their gimmick or look, whatever you want to call it. It's just it hit the pause button about 10, 12 years ago, and it's been stuck there ever since.
That's what it feels like to me too. And like I want to be clear, it's not the move set, it's the pacing. You can get it by with a very simple move set. We'll talk about it later. But like
Raquel Rodriguez
does
not have a complex move set, but it's
the pacing.
It's the pacing.
It is absolutely the pacing.
When she's aggressive, when she goes towards a move, she's not passive, like how she grabs people. So, yeah, Raquel has a very basic offense, but she makes it look legit, and it doesn't look like she's tiptoeing, like, oh, what do I do here? Like, and there's only so far, like, Bliss and Flair can, like, come down to their level without it becoming a total, like wrestling.
It was hard for them to hold on.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the ending because I'm like, well, it's easy if Bliss and Flair come up. And I've been a proponent.
I said it made sense.
For WrestleMania, this will be one of your matches that you can have, like,
well, we found out, didn't we?
We sure did. We were kind of right on a lot of things. One thing really surprised us with the IC title. We'll talk about that later. But I think it was a good surprise. So I like it.
So after that, we get some R-Truth time, and it's always a good time for R-Truth time. There's always 2 big things that happen on this podcast. Actually 3, I stand corrected. R-Truth time, Chelsea Green time, and Danhausen time. Those are the 3 things.
And anytime Paul Heyman graces with his presence.
Hey, we got a whole Mount Rushmore now.
There we go.
We got all 4 now.
The ones that will never speak evil of and will allow anybody to attack on our podcast. They're untouchables.
I think I threw shade at somebody recently. But anyways, so Truth's rebuilding the Judgment Day. Truth's rebuilding the Judgment Day clubhouse because, because he thinks Jelly Roll is Dom, and he thinks it's the old Judgment Day, which just made me laugh. Like, God, he turns it into gold, man.
And then the fact that he's wearing like a reflective vest, like he's part of the the work crew, like he's definitely into it. It was a fun segment. Really liked it. I like the interaction. I tell you what, every time I see Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest together, though, I always like it because ends up Priest ends up showing up at the end, and like when they're together, it's just cool because they bring them together and then they go and do their own thing, and then they'll bring them together for something. But it's just they're a good fit together, Priest and Rhea.
I like
So.
doing cameos on each other. It's great.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
like it.
So we get a little something turns into, speaking of Rhea Ripley, a Rhea Ripley and BFAB match, and that goes about as well as you think it, is gonna go.
Yeah,
Meaning,
so good that they started the match during the commercial break.
yeah, it was not the most favorable thing.
It created
we
didn't
find
have
out-
high hopes.
No. Then we find out that
Poor
Miz is in denial that there's a curse because he only stepped in gum and dropped his phone in the toilet, and and Danhausen curses Kid as well, and it's just like, bro, I just love that crap, man. And like the best part is, if you're not following his social media, his shit's like off the chain. It is off the chain.
The one in New York City, he's got the "I love New York"
I
hat,
love New York hat and shirt,
T-shirt, and he's just dressed up like as a tourist. And
Yes.
he's over at.
But he's still got face paint on. He's doing New York hot dogs and stuff like that off the cart. It was just so good.
Didn't they superimpose like pictures of his face? I saw one where they superimposed pictures of Danhausen all over Times Square.
He's actually sold out his appearance at WrestleMania.
Oh, really?
Like
for the meet and greet?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's getting lots of human monies, according to him.
Good.
For selling out his meet and greet. So we get a recap of Jacob and Drew. We'll get into it when it matters. So we get Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson. So I know I said earlier that Simple works, and Jelly Roll's the poster child of that. He does just enough. I will give him credit because when we saw him in SummerSlam, he was slow. Now, there was medical limitations that prevented him from that, and it wasn't cardio. It was he had all his sagging skin from all his weight loss, and he actually had to wear like a specialty suit to kind of contain him. Look, he ain't going to be doing, some Braun Breaker 100-mile-per-hour, like rope-to-rope stuff, right? But he did just enough. And, like, I am so sick and tired of the IWC. Like, Jelly Roll's taking a spot from a wrestler, or, a regular wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And then people, like, the other one that I thought was really interesting.
Hey, Sean, what happened on this day? This is a very famous day in professional wrestling history. It's an anniversary. I'll even give you how many years ago. 41 years ago on this date.
Owen?
What famous event happened? No, Owen died in 99, so 41 puts you back in 85. WrestleMania 1 happened 41 years ago today.
Touche.
So, let's see. We had celebrities at WrestleMania. We had Liberace. We had Muhammad Ali. Who else did we have? We had the Rockettes. Billy Martin was there. So,
and I think it's funny too, right?
Nobody complained. Celebrities have been around wrestling since the 50s.
There is a Rivals episode, an episode about Roddy Piper and Mr. T.
Yeah.
There's an actual Rivals episode about that. Like an entire episode of Rivals dedicated to Mr. T and Roddy Piper.
Mr. T fan. Like legit.
Roddy Piper definitely was not. I just watched that one again the other night because I was like, "Ooh, I forgot about the heat there." And
like when he throws his chair when they have the boxing match at WrestleMania 2, and they get in that scrum and Piper throws a chair at T, like he hums it like right at his shins too. And I've seen an interview where Piper was just like, "I didn't like him." He goes, "I didn't care." He says, "If I broke
he wasn't one of us," and
nope.
he was gatekeeping the sport, and like I get it. Like Mr. T ain't the one to gatekeep on, but
no. But look at all the celebrities we've had over the years.
No, I get it.
It's always been a big thing. We had Lawrence Taylor in a WrestleMania match.
Sorry.
That's why it went so long. We got to go longer than 5 minutes, LT. The 80s
Woo.
and 90s were a different era, my friends.
Yes, they were. But,
So
well, no,
I've
I
seen it
guess
too. People like losing their mind. First of all, it's a big weekend, WrestleMania. I mean, you're going to have probably 7 or 8 matches. It looks like I'm hoping what I'm seeing on these shows with the shorter matches, but still getting the quality. I hope that you see that WrestleMania. That way you can get, hey, if you get 8 matches in a night and you could do it in 4 hours with all like the in between match fluff and Roman Reigns like taking half of eternity to get to the ring. So, just saying.
so.
I don't know
Well,
how
I'll
long
say,
half of eternity is, but it's a long time.
well, what was I joking? Like when he was coming out on Monday, I was like, things I was able to do while waiting for Roman to get to the ring. My taxes, cooked a 4-course meal,
Took a power nap,
took a power nap, like,
rearranged my stock
I
portfolio,
cleaned my gutters. You're like, yeah, it's
opened and
just
closed the
ridiculous.
pool.
Yeah, exactly. The winter solstice came and then he finally got to the ring and it's only July. Nah, so I will say this. So one of the things that people are losing their mind about, they're like, why is he involved in the Randy Orton Cody Rhodes story? And I'm like, are you people for effing real? Like I said, he's the good angel, right? He is the good angel on Randy. And like he is going to get smoked by Randy here soon. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, well, he
Because
did.
some Neanderthal,
I'm waiting for him to get popped by Cody,
I
whether it's intentional or inadvertent. I think you got to play both. All
I
with
mean,
Randy
it
doing all the
was
bad shit is not good. Cody's got to have his share. You can't have
you might as well just make Cody the heel in this because nobody is going to flip on
right.
Randy. You're not going to win that fight. And then, well, let's not digress because we'll get there. But like the Jelly Roll Kit Wilson thing was super simple. Kit and the damn poetry thing still makes me laugh. We got a Jelly Roll move now. We had the Jelly to
Leave that
Belly,
belly.
which I thought was pretty good on the fly.
That
And I
was.
like that Corey picked up on it. It was like, you need to patent that one. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
So
it was good.
When Jelly Roll wrestles at WrestleMania, maybe he'll have his own Jelly to Belly T-shirt.
And his choke slam ain't half bad neither.
I like that he takes like from different wrestlers, like he'll take their
Yes.
moves, but he doesn't do it for in a cheap way. He does it in a respectful way. It's paying homage. It's not Jelly Roll. I don't think has any thoughts of elevating himself in this business.
No, he's happy for the opportunity. He's a humble dude.
And Kit
And
Wilson like sold everything Jelly gave, and like he dished out some stuff too. But Kit Wilson was a great dancing partner for Jelly's first one-on-one match. I think Kit
he
Wilson
did
was
good.
an excellent
Oh,
choice.
they're going to run that back.
Yeah.
But to make this point, like, is Kit Wilson as big of a deal? Is Kit Wilson getting the attention he's getting right now by wrestling anybody else? No.
No.
This is benefiting Kit Wilson as much as it is Jelly Roll. And I don't even think Jelly Roll just wants to do it, but everything you've heard, he's been respectful, right? He respects the business.
Yep.
He didn't go over. He took the final bump, last time because he said it's not right. I should lose. And I appreciate that, so, take it for what you will, but let's not keep on talking about Jelly Roll or I'm going to have to play his songs and, I like his music. So,
And Sean thinks that we're contractually obligated or will be cursed by Danhausen if he is not the number one topic of our show. So
it is true. That is very true.
it's a distinct possibility. Seeing that Danhausen's just cursing random sports teams, I mean, podcast group could be next.
So MFTs have a backstage segment, and I think this is more impactful than people realize. So we get Solo talking to the MFTs, and he apologizes. He says that's something Roman would never do. And I appreciated that because we may finally, after all these years, be leading up to Roman being humbled. The fact that your family, that you call upon. Remember, like 2 weeks ago, it was, all Samoans come to me kind of deal from Roman, like him, Invasion of the Body Snatchers style, pointing and like, take out CM Punk. But like the fact that they are making a deliberate effort to go, no, man, I'm apologizing to y'all, which does two things. One, it makes Roman look like a douche, right? And then two, the best part about it is it takes MFTs off the table.
Yes.
In theory.
So they
right?
can
Like,
still do
no,
their
we ain't
Wyatt.
rolling with that. We're doing our thing. We're doing our thing. We're not doing his thing. We're doing our thing. This is about us. And I appreciate that, so good on him. And I'm waiting for this like Tamatanga, like Shinsuke thing to pay off. Damn it.
I know.
It's starting to like, only because I don't understand half the stuff they say. Okay, Matt. We're
If you
going to
notice
talk
real quick, Solo was mostly apologizing to JC Mateo. He wasn't really looking at Tamatanga much. And then when he did look at Tama, it was when he kind of gave him like a warning.
No, but it doesn't matter.
No.
It's
And
the
thing
fact
is,
that he actually took the time.
Right. And whether or not Solo really, in his heart of hearts, apologized is irrelevant. The fact that he's like, I'm just going to apologize because I'm going to do it because Roman would not apologize. So I'm going to apologize just because Roman wouldn't do it.
But it shows growth, right? And self-awareness. So,
Yes.
like, it's a good thing.
Yep.
So, all right, Matt, we're getting into it. Let's open U.S. title open challenge. Carmelo Hayes is out there, and Sami Zayn comes out. Now, because Sami Zayn popped Trick Williams in the mouth, Trick Williams came to watch with his lemon pepper steppers and his white coat.
There you go. You get it.
By the way, bro, they do not whiff on Trick Williams' entrance anytime.
No.
Like every now and again with Penta and a couple of the other guys that got pretty epic entrances, the timing will be off, even Cody. But man, when it comes to Trick, you get it all. And like, ooh, I love that Trick entrance. There is so much I like about that dude. But anyways, yeah, so it comes out. It was a good match. Sami Zayn wins. I'm going to digress. Everyone, deep breath. We got to talk about a couple of things coming out of this. One, it makes sense. Not for Carmelo, and I have concerns about Carmelo not getting a WrestleMania match because come hell or high water, him and Ilya should have a WrestleMania. Two, this makes sense because now that Trick Williams match, and we find out later in the show anyways, is going to be for the U.S. title. I 100% think Trick Williams is going over.
Yeah.
And I think, so a lot of people are like, you had Carmelo and Trick Williams right there. That's some Randy Cody shit. You don't want to blow that load like right up front. No, that one you got to let simmer. Because
I was just going to say, you don't burn the soup.
First off, I know for a fact, and I don't even watch NXT, that they had some good heat down in NXT. So, like, I wouldn't, no, that needs long build, long story, 3-match segment stuff, man. Like, that's
so honestly,
huge.
Was Trick trying to pop Hayes, or was he really trying to pop Sammy?
No, he was trying to hit Sammy.
Yeah, because Sammy ducked and went under the ropes, and Hayes ate it.
Yeah, no, it's all about Sammy, right? Like, it leaves the motivation for Carmelo Hayes, but like, yeah.
Well, that's a good way to start the setup for Trick and Carmelo right there, because Trick cost him the title.
No, exactly. It's the catalyst, right? Like, we got the catalyst for why, but like, no, we can do Trick and Carmelo later. Like, just let that go because Sammy goes in the back, starts strutting around, feeling himself. Probably the worst shit talker on the face of the earth.
God.
Like, and not in a good way, like bad at it. Like,
I've seen third graders talk better shit than Sammy.
You ever see the movie The New Guy? Sammy's rebuttal to all this was the equivalent of him learning how to go, who's the bitch now?
Yeah.
Like, it was that bad. It was that kid from like The New Guy. Like, who's the bitch now?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, Sammy.
I got my title. I got my title shot now.
Yeah. Got 2 words for you. Speaking of DX.
Suck a whole lot of it.
So we get Jacob. We get Drew. I love the bruised and battered angle for both of them, where they're like trying to do it, man, but you're just like, F you, man. I like the lines.
Jacob is really good on the mic, too. He's underrated. Because you know why? He sounds real. When he talks, it's real. He doesn't mince words. He's direct. But yeah,
That's what people want.
the selling by both was great. Selling the beat.
You know. Yeah, I mean, you know, just you caught it in your nose. Like the screw your damn kids line, like was brilliant. Like there was so much truth flinging around. Again, Drew denies kicking out his teeth. That story is still around.
Yep.
That story is still around. And Drew denies it. And Drew doesn't lie. I've always said this. Drew McIntyre does not lie to you. You know.
He just has a distorted view of the truth, but to him, it's always the truth.
Yes. And like, it's big because that's one of those hanging chads that are not getting addressed and have been around for a while. He got his teeth kicked in like November. It's just, yeah.
That'd be good. That's almost shit. That's 6 months. That's like huge long term in these days and age of wrestling. So we'll see who it is, but yeah. And then of course we get the unsanctioned match for WrestleMania, which is just basically a no holds barred. I guess they didn't like the fact we were making fun of a possible Las Vegas street fight, so they went safe to appease us and went unsanctioned.
Put him in the cell.
That's
and use it this time.
Yeah.
And use it this time. I cannot stress that enough. Because the last time Jacob was in a cell, we did not use the cell. It was him and Solo in a cell, and we're like, what the F was that? Like, it was bad.
Put him in a strap
use
match.
The cell.
Put him in a Samoan strap match or something.
That sounds really...
I'd rather see that than the Hell in the Cell.
Matt wants the Samoan strap-on match.
No.
All right, so we get Cardona backstage. Jelly Roll being the big...
With the Bellas, right?
Yeah. Well, okay.
No.
All right, that ain't making the TikTok this week.
Or
so Matt Cardona backstage. Jelly Roll tries to play Peacemaker. We get told that Cody's on his way. Woo. And Aleister Black and Selena Vega taunt Cardona. Man, Chelsea got some pull because her hubby been getting a lot of airtime lately.
Yes.
By the way. Side note, not really, but yeah.
Nope.
Speaking of his wife, we get a little interaction with her. Yeah, it's God, she is so good at making her like limited time count. I cannot stress that enough.
No, because she talked the majority of it, and all Tiffy did was reject her. I mean, Tiffy talked 5 seconds, and Chelsea owned the whole segment. So, like I said in my notes, make that 60 seconds count.
It's she's so
maximize your opportunities.
So non-title bout, Julia defeats Tiffany Stratton, and I'll say it first off. I don't think Julia and Tiffany have great chemistry. I'll say that part. 2 is I have noticed since she came back from her injury, Tiffany has been like she found 5th gear, right? Like it's impressive and noticeable. She's definitely found 5th gear because she is moving. Whoo, child. She's moving at a whole new level.
I don't know if she undershot that swanton though, because she about crushed Julia. That was pretty.
Yeah, I kind of winced. I was like,
yeah.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, you'll feel that one in the morning. But yeah, no, it was a solid match. I like the fact that Julia goes over here. It builds up. I think we're going to see Julia and Tiffany for the women's U.S. title at WrestleMania.
That's fine.
Or they'll do it the SmackDown before. But that'll get us into our whole conversation about how every title should be defended on the 2-night show, which got some interesting conversation going, especially on the TikTok side.
It's interesting, but I think it's still true. Like I will stand by that. There is nothing bigger than WrestleMania, and nothing cheapens.
It's just Super Bowl.
I'll give you the best, dude. They already effed up because they already gave you the poster child of why everything should be defended at Mania, and that was that like You remember like last year when the tag division on SmackDown was like in fuego, and like we got that like ladders match with like Street Profits. I think Motor City Machine Guns was in there. I
Yeah, that
think
was
Gargano and Ciampa were there. Like that match was better than some of the shit they put on WrestleMania. Like it was phenomenal, and like good on them for taking advantage of it. But that's why every title it mattered, and it shouldn't be like some blow off on freaking SmackDown. It should be like, no, put it on Mania, dude. Like I don't get it, but
hey,
you
not for
know,
nothing.
speaking of tag
You
titles,
mentioned tag team. Like, where's the Street Profits at? Is one of them hurt
I
or?
think they made an appearance at AAA. I think I saw. Don't quote me.
Yeah, we're 2.5 weeks out from WrestleMania. We got nothing for the Profits.
They haven't done a build either, so I don't know what the story is.
I know. I'm kind of surprised.
But we got Bailey and Lyra calling next in line, and then we get the phone call, the Randy Orton phone call. Matt, who's on the phone, man?
Well, I know who you think's on the. I'll tell you what
I
I've
know
heard.
you know it.
John brought up an interesting point to me. He goes, well, what if it's Randy talking to himself on the phone? And I brought out the fact that a lot of people seem to think an angle could be it's Randy's talking because the voice is in his head that one of them is 2009 Randy Orton. But I don't really have a think. I like your idea.
I think it's The Rock.
I'll be shocked if WWE Creative pulls through with it. But at the end of
I
it
will
all,
too.
I think it can be done because you only need The Rock to show up once. And that maybe you could pull the surprise at WrestleMania. You could pull.
You
pull
could. You could have The
lid
Rock
off
come
at-
out during their
at
match.
the match. Yes,
And then, you know.
that's the way I would do it.
you-
Why would you? If you're
That's
going to
true.
use The Rock? Why would you blow your wad on a SmackDown show? Like
So
do it on
the only
V's
argument
show.
I had for that though is the only argument I had in favor of that was that you would do that to, you know, take it off of, you know, you take it off of Roman, right? Like everybody, you know, it's to tease it a little bit, right? Like you have him come back, you make everybody think he's there for Roman, you know, have him drop some promo where he's like, I just make kings, man. I just make, you know, I make champions. And then like he vanishes, and then next thing you know, he's out there for Randy and not Roman. So it's a nice little mini swerve there. So, and I think it makes sense. Now, Pierce made a comment about smelling something on Monday night. So I was like, ooh, was that a nugget? Now, I might be overanalyzing. I fully admit that.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
do it a time or
I heard
10.
that and I was like, interesting, very interesting. And we'll see. We know it's not Stephanie McMahon because she
No.
gave that away too.
I was starting to think because he had mentioned the first night about telling Cody he's not the only family dynasty. You know, McMahon would have been a good fit. Any McMahon. I mean, we know it's not going to be Shane. We know it's not going to be Vinny. It's going to be, you know, Steph. But we'll talk more about Steph because we get her coming up here soon. I don't know. I like how they're doing it. It's not predictable yet. They're kind of doing a good job with keeping us in the dark.
Yeah, treating us like mushrooms. Keep us
Yeah.
in the dark, feed us lots of shit. So
Go.
I don't think we have to go into it. Like Randy Orton just did mean nasty things to Matt Cardona. And
God.
like that poor
Yeah.
guy.
Well,
I was like,
one thing
by the
we
end of
know
it,
for
I was
sure,
like,
Cardona knows how to sell. We definitely got that.
I was like, at the end of that one, I was like, Chelsea going to have to do a lot of work around the house because I don't think Matt's going to be capable.
Randy beats him up for like what 10 minutes. Like Matt gets minimal offense, and then finally, like Randy's just like, "All right, we're done." RKO, like over. Like I'm just,
Yep.
he just beat him up and like just decided like he had enough fun. Like it's kind of like when a cat, you know, catches a mouse and plays with it, and then finally kills it. That was Randy Orton and Matt Cardona on SmackDown. And yeah, hey, I mean.
So
Matt Cardona must be getting paid quite well to come back and be fodder for Randy Orton, but it really
that's fine.
it makes a statement. So and he's in one of the big angles. So Cardona's touching this angle, so it means something.
So we got all the chaos. So Cody comes out, yay! And All right, let's talk about Cody Rhodes for. I don't know if I've clarified this before, but I got to say it because like a lot of people whine, bitch, and moan about this, and like they would probably listen to me and go, "You're a hypocrite," and I'm not. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people throw shade because they want to rock Roman, right? When Cody won the Rumble and like Rock tried to take his spot, blah blah blah, and a lot of us bitched and we wanted Cody in that match. Now, everybody took it as we're all Cody fans. Well, nay. It's not that. It's that we spent 2 effing years hearing about him completing his effing story, and now he's on the precipice of doing it, and he was just like, nah, I'm cool. Take my spot, Rock. Like, that was why it was such a big deal.
Yeah, you almost pulled the rug out from everybody on something that had so much impatient for. And, it was a principal thing too, because we were mad because, like, Cody got hosed temporarily, and we were sympathetic towards the fact that they screwed him over.
Like, if you wanted to do, there was better ways to achieve that match. And by the way, that match didn't need a title if you wanted to do Cody Rock or Roman Rock. Sorry, but I want to clarify that because now I'm about to shit all over Cody Rhodes. So that's out of the way. The issue is not Cody Rhodes back in the day. It was he was trying to complete his story. You made me sit for a whole nother year after 39. No, I wanted it over because if you would have tried to drag it out for year 3 or tried to do it at SummerSlam, it wouldn't have hit the same.
And you kept it intriguing too. Cody was intriguing. Plus, he had some help with injuries and stuff, so that garnered more sympathy. Like, you viewed Cody sympathetic, like you wanted him to win. Like, we were so happy when he finally won.
Were we happy that he won or the titles came off of Roman?
True story. Because, yeah, we're like, bring Spike Dudley out of retirement and let him take the title. Anyone.
Usher
in Section 103, hey, come down here. Please take it off him. Somebody. But, no, but it was because of the whole Rhodes name and the story. It was an excellent story. And, I mean, you and I had a meltdown when he got beat by Roman the first time.
I admit I was wrong on that.
We did. We got wrapped up in it, but it actually made the story better. And we could talk.
I concur. I'm not arguing. I think it made the story better. But
this new iteration of Cody, this corporate Cody,
corporate cuckold Cody. Triple C, baby. Yeah. Corporate cuckolds Cody. We'll get into the cuckold part. Oh my god, dude. I'm so over this guy. Like,
so Sami Zayn is no longer a cuckold.
He is.
Well, he definitely will be once Trick takes his title at WrestleMania and makes sweet love to it while Sammy has to sit in the corner and watch crying.
Sammy will cry in the ring as Trick's walking out with the belt. It'll be beautiful.
Hey, Sammy, you could pick up my lemon pepper steppers and carry him back to the locker room for me.
So, obviously, we get this brawl. Jelly Roll gets involved. Jelly Roll gets an RKO for his troubles. So, I'm sure we'll get a follow-up segment this week where it's like, what the fuck was that, man? I thought we were cool. But, it was fine. Like, it was fine.
This brawl makes me want Randy even more to go over.
Nothing Randy can do will make you not want Randy to win.
The worse he behaves, the more I want to see it. The more I want him to,
dude. They could make that shit like no DQ, and like Randy could just be teeing off and like punt him. Cody's gonna punt Randy actually, but anywho, Randy can punt him. Just sit there, drag the steps in, do the chair thing again, and just keep on pummeling. And nobody would care. They'd just be like, again, more. Be like, Herb Brooks and freaking Miracle Man, again. Like more. Like,
hey, we're locking up the building.
Again.
We'll shut the lights off.
All right. Since we're on this Cody Rhodes train, let's get into Raw.
What a segue into Raw.
First words.
So final thoughts on SmackDown as the show. What do you think? I thought it was. I was happy.
Too.
Yeah, we had a title change. We probably could have done without the Bella Twins and Bliss and Flair, but it added to the story. Rhea Ripley and B-Fat, whatever. But the Jelly Roll stuff was good. Sane and Hayes was good. A lot of the backstage stuff. And Randy is not taking anything away from Drew McIntyre, but Drew's still the best heel in WWE, but right now Randy's the man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, so we get into Raw, and the first person to come out is Cody Rhodes, and I dropped the biggest, what the F? It's Raw. Why are you on Raw? I was pissed.
Because MSG, that's why.
Yeah, I know. I realized that after I said it, and I was like, that's the Garden, so, all right. So he comes out, Stephanie comes out. Stephanie still got her chops for cutting promos for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And, basically, she told Cody he ain't it, in my mind. And she kind of threw some shade on him, too, about how he went about getting the title.
Yeah.
I thought. That's how I read or interpreted it, but
I thought she was going to go a little bit more, and she goes, and that's what set him off. That's what you did to set Randy off. I thought that was coming. Because I think that was the final straw with Randy, because Randy's been busting his ass. He says it in his promos. He's been busting it, trying to do it the right way, and Cody just gets, gift cards and, free passes. And I think that's what set him off. And I wanted Steph to give it, but Stephanie, man, took Cody's lunch money, his book bag, and then slapped him in the face. Took his
and he said thank you. And he said thank you.
Now,
which is the most cuckold thing I've.
Don't worry, folks.
Who's the bitch now? No,
this word won't stay around the podcast forever. This is just our new happy fan word we're going to use until we find another one.
But it's so true. Both of them have the same freaking problem. Somebody shits all over them. They're like, okay. What the F is wrong with you?
He could have, when he grabbed Stephanie by the arm, he could have pulled her in, he could have glared at her, and then he could have just, pushed her hand away, and he didn't have to say anything. But, thank you.
No, he said thank you, like a good little bitch. This iteration of Cody Rhodes is so meh and blah. And,
his father wouldn't have said thank you.
It's the equivalent of making chocolate milk when you don't have enough. You make a full glass, but you only got enough chocolate powder for a half a glass right now.
I hate it when that happens.
That's what Cody Rhodes is.
That's when you go through the cupboards. I'll microwave some chocolate chips. Here's some. It's only 2 years expired. Here's some fudge topping for ice cream, just so I can make.
Hey, I found a cocoa packet in the back of the cabinet. I don't know how long it's been there. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, there's a Hershey's Kiss from last Christmas.
Wrong time of year. It's WrestleMania season. So I'm telling you, I'm kind of grooving on this too. I show Speed and Danhausen right now. I think that's going to be a Mania match, by the way. But I think that's what this is coming down to. I think at the end of the day, to get the curse removed, I don't know. But Danhausen, okay, so you're going to give me millions? No. $1 billion, and you're gonna give me all your passwords to your social media empire. And he's like, I can't do that. You're like, all right, well, you're still cursed. Then Adam Pearce dropping are you supposed to disappear? And he's just sitting there all awkward and shit. I was dying, dude.
That had me dying. That was the funniest part of the whole segment, because it was just this awkward moment, and Pierce is just standing there like a bump on a log, and Danhausen's I'm thinking Danhausen, go check the truck. Maybe your face is on it by now.
Well, the best part about it was he was twitching, but he was twitching should I go? Am I gonna go? Did I go? It was beautiful. I love that dude. He makes me laugh so hard. It's the greatest. Like you said, it's the greatest palate cleanser, right? We just came off of all this turmoil and all this other craziness, and we got Stephanie McMahon, and then here's little old Danhausen, so good. So then we get
our faces.
We get LA Knight on commentary for the Vision and the Usos, and what happens is, like, throughout the match, the brass, apparently Logan Paul's mom was there handing him the brass knucks, which
As
is
soon as that
hilarious.
happened, I'm like, oh, division are going over, because why else would Logan Paul's mom, like, be there?
Well, I didn't really go there, but I knew something was, I had a feeling that I thought it was going to be a DQ, to be honest with you.
It couldn't. It was a
Because,
street
like,
fight. It was a street fight. And
oh,
to
that's
win.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Everything
So,
goes.
like,
Anything
I knew
goes when the whistle
Speed,
blows.
you knew when the curse wouldn't get lifted that Speed was going to be involved in that. And, like, for a street fight that never went to the streets or really out of the ring, it was cute. You might as well have just called it a no DQ because, like, there was no streets.
The trash can spots were fun, though, especially with the kendo sticks. Yeah, those.
Emilio Estevez approves.
Yeah, and I have to say, I have to give prop to Logan Paul mom. That's a good mom helping your son out. Like, I don't think too many kids can get away with, like, Ma, can you hold my brass knucks while I go in here and.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Ma.
Yeah,
We'll be
Ma, it's
okay.
all right. And when I need them, just give them to me. No questions asked. All right, good mom.
Hey, it's the garden, bro. It's the city, man. Everybody got knucks in their purse. And then, like, the whole...
And then you'll probably pay for dinner afterwards, too.
The whole crap fest with Speed accidentally. Oh, my God, dude. It was so effing good.
The spot where he knocks out Knight was fantastic.
Oh, my God.
The punch looked good. Then, like, Knight sold it like he got shot. I was like, oh, it was excellent.
Everything went awesome. Honestly, credit to iShow Speed, too. Like, his facial expressions throughout this, like, oh, my God, totally not what I wanted to do. Oh, my God, everything's going bad. And the fact that after the Vision wins, they drag iShow Speed with them. And
like
he's just like the last thing he wants to do is be like one of them, and he's with them. God, it was so good. And later on when they're backstage,
knocked it out of the park. They really knocked it out of the park.
My God, yeah. But what was like the chef's kiss on top of it was a segment later on in the locker room where it's the Paul and it's Paul and Austin Theory and Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's like, guys, take him out to dinner. It's all going to be all good, man. Go celebrate. We got the tag titles, and he's like, the Usos are going to effing kill him. Yeah, we'll watch out for you. He's like, oh my God, the Usos are going to effing kill him. I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
No, it was.
But before that, we get Liv Morgan comes out, and we get more brawling. Now, the biggest part of this is credit to Liv Morgan for being in not small heels and doing what she did in the ring during this little brawl. I'm still convinced that Dom is going to leave Liv for Stephanie, but
her promo, there was some. Liv was kind of cutting a face promo. I was texting you guys last night. I'm like, she's coming across. That promo was very face-ish. And maybe because it's right up the road where she's from, being a Jersey girl, but
probably.
I don't know. The brawls are good though. I think Liv.
Well, they make sense.
It was a good opportunity to bring Roxanne Perez back finally too.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say like Perez coming back and getting involved was a nice touch too, because nobody was really talking about Perez because she's been out a hot minute, and the fact that they brought her back, it was like, okay, cool. So we get the tablecloths versus Lyra and Bailey.
Yeah.
And
your grandma's kitchen curtains.
Look, Raw this week was definitely some very bold fashion choices, some of which probably... Now, look, I am wearing a NASCAR shirt right now, right? I am not God's gift to fashion. But when even I'm like, yo, that ain't working yet.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It wasn't working on Nia, and it wasn't working on Lash either. So, like, I was like, yo, no. We whiffed on this one. No more tablecloth inspirations. But this ends in a DQ. Shocker! But this pretty much, like, sets up, like, hey, guess what? Everything that we thought was going to happen is happening, which is, well, I can't say that because I said to By the way, folks, found out because I'm a Neanderthal, you can do polls in text chat, in group chats on an iPhone. Very exciting. However, ... we started doing polls during this, and one of them was, what does the women's tag division look like, for WrestleMania? And I said, I was close. I said tag team turmoil. I did not consider fatal 4-way because I think it's tomato, honestly. But we'll see.
I would have been fine with a gauntlet, but the stip would have been that you would have had Nia and Lash. They would have been the last team to come out.
I had the same thought.
They would have had like champions advantage or whatever, so they would come out last.
I had the same thought,
but
I think that
the 4 teams they got the way that, all of them in there, it'll be fun.
Oh yeah, no, I have no doubt. And then because he's the media darling, Danhausen announces on 18 July there will be a Saturday night's main event from MSG. Anything MSG is always good, so hopefully that one, they don't break that streak. Actually, I found out that June, I might have a Raw here in Baltimore. I got to take a look at tickets. I might have to go to a Raw. I might have to do it live, Matt. I might have to do it live. I don't think I passed up the last time they came through. I might have to do it this time. I was trying to look to see if there was like a PLE right before, because that's been kind of my saving grace, if you will. Like, look, it's right after like Money in the Bank. I went to that one. But when else will I get to see Danhausen live? I might have to take
it.
Well,
it's going to cost you a lot of human monies to go to Raw.
And the point was brought up, we have a lot going on in May that financially I might want to not consider doing it, but it's Raw. Dude, we'll find out. More to follow. All right. So
meanwhile, Sean will be doing carnal things behind the Walmart in Maryland somewhere to get money.
I need more human monies. I need human monies for Raw tickets. All right. So Brock Lesnar comes out. He's ready to fight.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of threw me off. I was like, ooh, Brock's in like fighting gear. And then
in incredible condition. Like, holy crap.
Bro, he can't put his arms down. That guy he must have had a great heavy set or something, man, because like his traps were like, dude.
But he's cut. He's also cut too. Like,
so it was impressive.
He was getting that punch around the middle. That's gone.
He had dad bod. He had like muscular dad bod. And then like, I don't know what the hell he's been doing, if he's just been out at his farm, like flipping tires and everything else. But like, holy crud.
Special vitamins, maybe.
I pick things up, I put them down. But whoo. So like we get this teaser
not saying that Brock's taking steroids. That was a joke. Brock is not taking steroids.
No, that's just a lot of
maybe the cows he's eating maybe are eating some crazy stuff, but Brock is
creatine fed, whey and creatine. Yeah, that's right. Get that deployment workout in.
I'm glad too that Brock, even though he just called for Oba's ass out there, I'm glad he finally like talked on the mic.
Yeah. No, it was good, and it was like I think the fact that Brock was actually cut as much as he was, it kind of gave you the impression of like Brock's taking this seriously. Like, yes. This isn't just like, Brock is here to throw Rey Mysterio around. No, Brock's taking this seriously. And it's
an Oba who's massive. I mean, he just has a different build. He's just huge. Like, he's not going to be cut like Brock. When they stand up,
his arms are.
Yeah,
so like Adam Pearce comes out.
He's got huge traps too. They're both.
Adam Pearce comes out and like ruins everything. But him and, as you put it in your notes, the crack security. Now, Matt, I know I said this in the text chain, and I got to bring it up here. When you have two of your women wrestlers going at each other, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, insert rivalry here. You send out half a locker room's worth of freaking security to keep them apart, and they suck at it, and they can't. But you have Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar in a ring, and you send 5 dudes.
Yeah,
and
those two
Adam
dudes,
Pearce.
that's 600
5.
plus pounds.
Uno,
between the
dos,
two of them.
tres, cuatro,
Yeah.
cinco. Cinco.
Yeah, I know.
5.
Like, that's going to
5
help.
dudes. 5 dudes. For Brock Lesnar and Femi. 5. And you think you're going to break that shit up. And then, like, even Adam Pearce, who took a great bump, by the way.
He did. Oh, by the way, he
You
fined
know,
Oba Femi today. He
Okay.
Oba got fined. An undisclosed
That's
amount of money.
take it out of his WrestleMania bonus.
Yeah, no, it's a great
He's-
bump, though, by Pierce. Like, he ate the railing.
Oh, yeah, he did. Like, he did it good. And then, like, Triple H comes out and is basically doing everything in his power, A, to not have a heart attack, and
I
B,
know.
to keep those two apart. Like, I kind of was watching him. I was like, he doesn't want to get pushy shovey. He's just putting himself in the middle, you know? And, like, it was noticeable that he was very conscious of what he was doing. And, like, I saw a lot of people on the internet. I understand Triple H has got his haters, right? Especially because he's the chief content officer. He's got his haters. Here's the deal, though. Like, it made sense,
Yes.
right? Adam Pearce has been wiped out and, you know, basically ate the railing. Who's the next one in leadership,
Yeah.
right? We know he's in Gorilla. You know, it's let him get out there and kind of hold them two apart.
Well, I thought it enhanced the segment. I thought it makes the fight even look bigger because we were talking about beforehand. Other than Hunter coming out to pump the crowd or give attendance figures or, yell, "Are you ready?" to get the crowd revved up, H really doesn't get involved in storylines. Like the last time that I saw him come out and get involved is with him and KO. And where they were just almost backstage when he was going through the Cody feud and the whole Wind Eagle title thing going on, and like
I miss
they
KO.
got pushy shovey. And that was what, 14 months ago? It was before WrestleMania, because no, was it after? It was after, right? The Wind Eagle. No, it was before, because KO missed WrestleMania last year.
Yeah, he did because
He's been out for a while.
Like pretty much that match
that's
did him in.
So that's how long it's been since we've seen Triple H like kind of in a storyline other than like the post show wrap up. But really, it means a lot to have him out that little bit. So yeah, all the haters, man. I don't know. Take a Valium, something. I don't know.
People are just gonna shit on people to shit on people.
Smoke a joint.
I got
be
nothing
happy.
for you.
It's entertainment. It doesn't affect your day-to-day life. It's entertainment.
And we're hitting all our high marks today, man. Like it's entertainment, folks. It is what it is. Blah blah blah. Like
that's right.
We're killing it right now. All right, so we get a great promo from Finn Balor, who basically just says, "I made Dom. I must destroy him now." Which, okay, cool. Like, I don't even have like excitement for it. I'm just like, okay, cool. You do you, boo. We knew you were coming for this shit.
We trust you.
Like, we get Kofi Kingston constantly belittling Grayson Waller because he wants to do it himself, by God darn it. And he lost. And then we find out.
See, that just shows kids that playing by the rules gets you nowhere.
Yes. And then
if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Then we get a post-match interview with Penta, and Penta basically announces that ladder match. He was so stoked for it. I just loved it. I love Penta so much. And we find out that it's a ladder match, and all the qualifiers happen before on main event. So yeah, we're not going to get into what the card looks like. I think next week we'll talk about the card, but what the card's shaping up to be, and we'll just go from there. But we found out that Paul Heyman doesn't like to check email, even on his phone. Because he's from New York. He just gets that telepathically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of us that are,
I check the bulletin board down at the pizza joint. Someone leaves a note. Hey, I might answer it.
Forgot to call him. I pulled the tab. Now, like, I'm from New York, but I'm not from the city. See, that's how I have to differentiate. I'm from New York, but I ain't from the city. Paul from the city. See, totally different.
You're almost Canadian.
But no. Yeah. So we find out that Seth is cleared. Seth, Paul's like, I don't, basically does the bit, I'm the big man. And we find out Seth is there. Seth cracks him with the chair. And then Seth gets dragged out of the ring, and it's Gunther. And boy, did they got a short flash to bang to give me a good reason why.
Yeah. So here's my thoughts real quick on this. I know it's a problem with Gunther and his personality. Seth's going to have to do the heavy lifting to make this mean something, because I don't have confidence that Gunther, with the timeline, is able to do it on his own. I trust Seth. I think Seth can make there be a reason. But he's going to have
the match will be fine. I'm
the
not
match
worried
will be
about
great.
the match.
I mean, that's a really solid match, and that was actually it's a pleasant surprise. I just want to know, is it because of the injuries and
It is
chaos and
because
just thrown? Well,
because we were supposed to get Seth Breaker, and then we were supposed to get Gunther Ray, and like neither of them are available. So,
and I just want to know, why did Gunther choose Seth? Like, what is it? Just
Well, and
because?
that's-
Is it just because Gunther's like, hey, I'm sitting out. I haven't heard any calls about WrestleMania. I had to make my way, so Seth's cleared. He's an easy target. Whatever, but
well, I would also be happy if, like, Paul's like, no, I called him. You know what I mean?
well, I was thinking that too. Like, Gunther going to be like an asset for the Vision, not a member, like Drew McIntyre.
Like Drew.
Like exactly. But when he walked by, he didn't check on Paul, so they're leaving us in limbo there. So yeah, is he a hired hand by Paul Heyman?
It's a means to the end, though.
Sure.
How hard is it for Paul Heyman to go, like, you want to be a Mania? You're going to take out Seth Rollins. I'll make sure you get in Mania. Okay, cool. I want to go to Mania. I hope Gunther loses, because I have a side angle where, like, Gunther just loses Mania matches. So
like the reverse.
it's his one flaw. Mania is his one Achilles heel, which
like
is
Taker
not a
never
bad angle.
lost for 20 years. Gunther never wins.
I wouldn't go 20 years for it,
No,
but like
you
could go like this year and maybe one or two more, and then he finally gets over the hump. Especially if at some point you decide somehow, some way he becomes like a face or popular. I get it. He's popular. It's just his character sucks.
No, yeah.
That's
what I'm
it's
saying.
just boring.
I don't have a lot of confidence that Gunther's going to give us the reason why. I mean, maybe we'll get surprised. Maybe Gunther will, if it's with Paul. I think a lot of it's going to be.
He tapped out like a little bitch.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to hear. Seth Rollins tapped out like a little bitch. Actually, he didn't tap out. He passed out.
Yeah,
but
he did.
Okay. You do you, boo. Like,
tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. But you know what? On paper, then Seth and Gunther is a WrestleMania match. So
it is.
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it. I just want to know why, right? Like, that WrestleMania is not meant for. I slapped some. Vince used to do that shit all the time. It drove me nuts. Like, I slapped a card together. Why are these two wrestling each other? Don't worry about it. Magic.
Yeah, a lot of your single digit WrestleManias had a very weak undercard. It was just
the undercard sucked. Like, the main event was like the only thing, or you had like two or three matches that were like a big deal. So you're sitting there like suffering for 6, 7, 8, 10 billion hours, like on the weekend. Like, is it over yet? Is it over yet?
I mean, if you watch the first 3 WrestleManias, it's not good wrestling. I mean, and everybody's gonna be like, Steamboat Savage. Yeah, okay, Steamboat Savage was great. Actually, the Dream Team and the Bulldogs for WrestleMania 2 was actually pretty good, but most of the stuff on the first 3 WrestleManias, it was pretty crap. But I still love the main event for WrestleMania 1, just because of the theatrics and theater that it was. It was fun. Logan Andre was a terrible match, if you look at it at a match point, but it was a huge event. No pun intended. But anyway, I guess I bought Sean some time to look for something, because he's deep in thought.
I have
Jack Candy.
Apple giveth and Apple taketh away. Apple is great because your phone rings on every effing Apple device. Apple is bad because it rings on every device. And the problem is it was my mom, and even if I had it on Do Not Disturb, my mom is set up that she can cut through. So there's no winning on that one. And so I'm just like, oh my God, deactivate. You know what I mean? Like, so, all right. after all this shenanigans and me playing with my phone and my computer and everything else, I only heard half of what you said because it also rings in my headset. Isn't that great? We have Raquel Rodriguez defeating Io Sky. And boy, do they not have chemistry. This match was rough to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I picked up towards the end, the second half of it maybe, but yeah, it was just. I mean, they tried. It just wasn't. It wasn't meshing last night. I think it's more too because they're focusing on Kyrie and Io and Asuka.
I mean, you're going to see this from time to time. Some wrestlers just cannot make it work together, right? Like, it just doesn't work, and it's clunky. No.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It wasn't from lack of trying. They weren't out there. It wasn't like watching Nikki Bella wrestle. I mean, it was, well, there was some good stuff.
The thing is that, like, that's what makes wrestlers like Seth Rollins so effing impressive. Seth Rollins, we've said it before, we'll say it again. He could have a mop, and he could have a great match with a mop. Like, it's just, he's that talented that he can make his opponent look like $1 billion. He's able to shift tempo and change everything up. Gunther's going to come out of this smelling like roses.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even if he loses, doesn't matter.
So then we get the Oprah Winfrey style WrestleMania booking cards of you get a match and you get a match, because we officially find out that it's Penta, Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, JD McDonough, and Rusev.
That's
one of these
choice.
Things is not like the other. One of these things does not belong. Rusev, all in this ladder match for Penta's IC title. Interesting. I don't get the Rusev angle, but he needed something to do. So cool. Finn versus Dom, fatal 4-way for the women's tag title. We kind of talked about that earlier. It's all coming together. And then Gunther Seth. So, like, they ain't wasting no time. They're just like, you hate you, you hate you. All right. What is it? What was the guy's name? Miles something from Celebrity Deathmatch. Let's get it on.
Yeah. Let's get it on. That's a big
underrated show. Celebrity Deathmatch was phenomenal.
Now I wish they'd bring it back and just use real celebrities and have real death matches.
2 men enter, 1 man leave. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Okay. So we get the final thing. Roman comes out.
It was the best promo battle, I thought.
Not a word is spoken.
It won hands down.
Oh my God. Roman comes out.
It was nice
forever.
They did that. You have to admit, I'm glad they did that. It took us away.
So
it gave us a break from all this blah, 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 back and forth bullshit. And like, okay, let them brawl. Let them have their little segment. I mean, I didn't love it, but it was...
It was different. But I think I texted in the text group. I was like, I think I have Punk Roman fatigue. Like, I'm sick of them. Both of them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of their match. And that was what I was concerned about way back when, after Roman won the Rumble, which was, okay, you won the Rumble. You came out the very next Raw and said, Punk. And then we've had to endure this crap forever now. Like, that was what I was concerned about. And we have to listen to Punk drone on and on and on. And then you decide to show up to work, and now we got to listen to you drone on and on and on. And then Punk's got a rebuttal, and then I'm over it.
Tell you what,
I'm so over it.
You know what I can't wait for? SmackDown this Friday night. Just because it's in St. Louis.
Oh, it's Randy
Hometown of Randy Orton. And you know what? Randy could say that the Cardinals suck and they should tear down the archway. They ain't going to boo him.
No.
If anybody cheers for Cody, they're not from St. Louis.
You might as well just walk out like freaking King Leonidas in freaking 300. This is Sparta. Like, yeah, this is St. Louis. Like, ain't nobody going to boo that dude.
No.
Ain't nobody going to boo that dude in freaking Wichita. It doesn't matter. They all want him to go over.
Yep.
And, like, I get it. I want him to go over. I'm ready, man. Like, let it go. But
this, honestly, this should have been your night 2 show closer. This is really, you could have
honestly,
done. I think it's bigger than Punk Roman.
the more I think about it, the more they probably should have shaken it up and made it Randy Roman. I think that's huge. Modern day longest the whole. I know they've
Well,
done it
I
recently,
hate to
but
bring up this to you, but if Randy wins a WrestleMania and Roman wins a WrestleMania, don't we have a Night of Champions coming up in June?
I don't want Roman to win the title.
But that would give you Randy Roman, albeit in
Look,
Saudi.
look,
If
if
they can even travel to Saudi for the show, that's another thing they go look at. They might have to.
ooh, that is a good point. I mean,
might be
F1
some-
pulled their races out of there, so
Yeah, because it's not stable right now to be over there.
so okay.
So much for Riyadh
So-
season, huh?
Next year, every year is Riyadh season. No, so I think I will say this: if Roman is going to show up to work, then he can have the title.
Yeah.
If he's not going to show up, I don't want him. I don't want him
if
to
he
win.
wins the title at WrestleMania, does one thing at Backlash, and then we don't see him till SummerSlam, then that's horseshit. But if we're gonna,
I'll lose my shit.
Yeah.
Because it was the biggest failing of his run, which was the titles would disappear. And he had both of them. So when he had the Raw one, you're watching Raw, you're like, what are you guys even fighting about? Like there was no aspirational like going for titles or anything. It was just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Your biggest title was the IC.
yeah, Gunther
Like,
held
it
that
was
hostage
terrible.
for almost 2 years. He had it almost. So
And he only 9 times out of 10, he only showed up on SmackDown. So like, what are we doing? Whatever. Like if he's going to show up to work, he can add the title. If not,
I have to say this Raw, I think got themselves out of their mini slump. This was a really solid show.
their mini slump was 1 week, Matt. Like it's okay. Like
No,
They
I thought
had
we-
kind
I
of a
thought- I
dud.
thought we had a couple of Raws that were kind of eh. This one was really
not
good.
sequentially. No, this one was good. It
Yep.
just we did a lot. There was a lot of storytelling. I'm all cool with it, and yeah, and Roman and Punk didn't talk, which also made me very happy. Because
Yeah.
again, I have Roman Punk fatigue right now.
Yeah,
Like
that
they
kind
could
of.
neither show up to Raw next week, and I'd be a happy camper. Honestly,
I can't remember if they're scheduled or not. I think
I'm
Roman's
sure
scheduled.
they are.
I think Roman's scheduled for like every Raw up to WrestleMania. Pretty sure
Okay.
they're gonna beat it to death.
Well, the Usos lost their title now, so
Yeah, kind of like that. And I
gotta
was
go back.
after all like the Yeet stuff and how much we were into the Yeet stuff.
That's gone now too.
Yeah, it's like
Fans are
outside-
not happy, by the way. Fans are not happy.
with Division winning the titles.
No, they're not happy the Yeet shit's gone. I don't know. Like, fans are not, they booed. Like, they were not happy they couldn't Yeet. And I'm like, well, they're a tag team. I was like, I don't know what you want. Make a
Yeah.
Yeety type song for both of them. I don't know. You do you, boo. But, like,
Now people just have to Yeet on their own time, huh?
I have a shirt that says Yeet. What am I going to do with it?
Well, you could Yeet in private.
Well, I also got a shirt that says WrestleMania. And what other
You could
wrestling
Yeet-
shirts
You
do I
could
have?
Yeet in public if you want to.
I yeeted in my pants. But no, this has been a fun one, Matt. I had
It has
really
been.
good time. We talked
Yes.
about a lot.
Hey, thank you to our
And-
listeners for a lot of good chatting going around on some of our shorts. So we appreciate that. Definitely got some controversy about our thoughts that every title should be defended at WrestleMania, and then people are like, "Well, you got Night of Champions," and I'm like, bro, that's one night. Like, they're not going to put 11 titles on the line on a one night show.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It's 2 night show, and it's your biggest effing show. Because any title you leave off of WrestleMania means that title means less than whoever's pissing in the other guy's Wheaties, right? Like, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, but you know what, Matt? I found out another valuable lesson from Nick's podcast. I cannot tell people where to find us as good as you can. Without a doubt, you are the king of that. Please
I
let
don't
the
know.
folks
I
know where to
totally
find us.
followed it last week. But yeah, let's see here. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, X, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And I think that's all we got for now. But I think we maybe look at some other places too. I don't know,
Yes.
maybe that might be season 2. There's some other. You got iHeart. please, in your comments, say if you know any other podcast sites that would benefit us to put our stuff on. And also, if you got any questions or comments about the podcast or anything you want us to talk about, it's got to be WWE main roster related only. So if you want us to talk about TNA and NXT, we'll refer you to Nick and Mikey and those guys, and they're a valuable resource.
We know people.
We do. And I
We
know a
people
guy.
who know people.
I know a guy. He'll take care of it for you.
He's a Jersey guy too.
Yeah, he's real
I know a
cheap.
Jersey guy. And
Yeah.
a Jersey gal.
Yeah.
They'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Man.
They got a good hot dog stand right down there, too.
Thank God we're going to the Midwest on Friday, because if this New York accent stuff keeps on going, it's going to get bad.
All right.
But no, folks, on the real, like Matt said, thank you so much. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tell your friends, tell everybody. Like,
1 year anniversary show coming up in 2 weeks on the 17th. So we haven't decided if we're going to, I don't know. Have we thought about going live for that, or are we going to keep the same format? Or I don't know. TBD. More to follow.
TBD.
Yeah.
Not
TBD.
TBD.
Yeah.
But anyways, folks, have a great week. Enjoy SmackDown from St. Louis this week. More to go. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Stick with us. Talk to us. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Get on our social medias out there, like especially TikTok. That thing's been heating up. YouTube's been hitting up with our shorts. Like, get out there. Share those things too. Don't just like them.
Yep.
Share them.
Yeah,
but
hit
anyways,
that notification button, too, so you get notified when we pop stuff up.
So bossy.
Well,
anyways, folks.
I'm trying to figure out the algorithm. I can't figure out the algorithm, damn it.
And that's why I'm a network engineer and not a software engineer. Anyways, folks, love y'all. Thank you for listening. Keep subscribing, share with your friends, and have a great week. We'll talk to you next week. We're out.
Bye.